Okay, now we're working on least common multiple. This is the code 2QK from your 8th grade IXL. And the question says, what is the least common multiple of 5 and 4? So the way we do least common multiple is we list their prime factors, just like we would do greatest common factor, but we are going to be doing some more multiplication. And if you are struggling to remember, just remember multiple, least common multiple, multiplying, you're going to be multiplying. Um, okay, so what is the least common multiple of 5 and 4? So prime factorization, 5 and 4. We know 5 only has one factor because it's prime. 4, on the other hand, has 2 and 2. That's their prime factorization. So what you want to do is look at these two and what is the what is the most number of times each number appears between the pair? Well, 2 appears twice. The most number of times 5 appears is once. So we're going to multiply 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 times 5 is 20, which is your least common multiple. Let's put 20 in here. Okay, so again, we're going to do this with 10 and 9, 10 and 9. Let's do our prime factorization. Even numbers always start with 2. 2 times 5. 5 is prime, so let's circle it. 9 has 3 and 3. Okay, the most number of times 2 appears is once. 5 appears once. And the most number of times between the two that 3 appears is twice. So let's multiply. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 times 3 is 30. And 30 times 3 is 90. Okay, 90. Okay, what about 9 and 4? 9 and 4, let's do it. So 9, let's write our numbers down. Let's find their greatest, or their prime factorization, which is 3 times 3 is 9. Both of these are prime. 4 is even, so we'll do 2 times 4, 2 times 2. Both of these are prime. The greatest number of times between these pairs that 3 appears is twice. This rule will make more sense when we get up to the higher ones. And 2 appears twice. Let's multiply together. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 18. And 18 times 2 is 36. Okay, I think this is the chance to see this rule in action here. So the numbers are 4 and 28. So let's write those down. 4, 28. We know this is 2 times 2. This is even, so let's do 2 times 14. I mean, you could have done, 7 times 4. If you know that your facts, you can use those two. That's fine. And then you have 7 and 2. Okay. Now look at these. Look at these two sets here. What's the most number of times that 2 appears? It appears 2 times. So we're going to do 2 times 2. And 7 appears once. So we're going to put 7. Then we multiply. 2 times 2 is 4. And 4 times 7 is 28. So the least common multiple of these two is going to be 28. Okay. And this rule really comes in handy when you're dealing with 3 numbers like this one. Okay, so we have 3 different numbers, 11, 10, and 20. So 11 is a prime number, so we're just going to circle that. 10, I know 5 times 2. Both of these are prime. 20, remember even, so 2 times 10. Q is prime, so I circle it. And then 5 times 2 or 10. Now, 11 only appears at most one time. 5 between all these appears at most one time, so 5. And 2 appears at most 2 times. See, in 20 it appears twice, and 10 it appears once. So we're going to do 2 groups of 2. Okay? Then we multiply. 11 times 5 is 55. 55 times 2 is 110. And 110 times 2 is 220. So that is the least common multiple. 220. Okay, this will be the last one. We have 3 numbers. These are a little bit more complex. We're now in the 90 plus for our SMART score. We have 48, 32, and 16. So let's write down our numbers. 32 and 16. They're even. So you could do 6 times 8, though. 6 times 8 is 48, right? And 3 times 2 is 6. Both are prime. Circle them. We know that 4 times 2 is 8. And we know that 2 times 2 is 4. Okay? 32. We know, let's see, 9 times 4. Oh, no. Sorry, 8 times 4. A little rusty. 8 times 4 is 32. And what else? We have 4 times 2. We have 2 times 2 for 4. Okay? We have 2 times 2 for 4. Okay? And then let's see, 8 times 2 is 16. And 4 times 2 and 2 times 2. Okay, we have a lot of duplicates. So let's start with the number 3. What's the greatest number of times 3 appears between these 3 numbers? It's only one time, right? So 3 times. What's the greatest number of times that 2 appears? So 1, 2, 3, 4 for this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for this one. And 1, 2, 3, 4. So it appears 5 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Is there any other factors? Don't see any other factors. So once we multiply this, we will have our answer. So 3 times 2 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 times 2 is 24. 24 times 2 is 48. And 48 times 2 is 96. So our final answer, the least common multiple, is going to be 96.